Hello fellow sim racers, and welcome to part 2 of my video guide to the cars featured in Assetto Corsa Competizione. In the first video I took a look at the British cars, and if you'd like to watch that then a link should be in the top right hand corner of your screens as well as in the video description. Today's video takes a look at the Italian cars from Lamborghini and of course Ferrari. As with the previous video, all of the cars have been compared on the aggressive setup preset because, well, there's not really been enough time to do any proper setup work yet. And I've been told by a lot of the esports drivers in ACC that the aggressive presets are really very good in most cases. The safe presets do dampen the cars quite a bit and in my opinion don't give you the best impression of how the cars or indeed ACC behaves. Let's start things off with the Italian Audi. Right off the bat, this car feels fantastic and, importantly, fast. And this was confirmed on the timing sheets at the SRO eSport rounds in Paul Ricard and Monza. The Huracan seemed to shade the other cars by a fraction, but, importantly, it looked pretty unforgiving to drive over a long stint, and we saw a lot of very high-profile drivers making small but ultimately costly errors in the series. And borrowing knowledge from drivers much more accomplished than I, you can see the Lambo drivers avoiding curbs that other cars would otherwise monster, and I think that's thanks to its more edgy nature. If you end up watching those races, turns 3 and 4 at Paul Ricard are a great example of this. But that edgy nature is the other side of the coin to its more desirable traits. A fantastically responsive turn-in, balanced mid-corner behaviour and great traction late corner. You may not be able to be as consistently aggressive with the track limits, but you'll be just as fast taking a slightly safer line. And that's the main takeaway with the Lambo. With the BOP as it is in build 1.0.1, this is a fast car in the right hands. On a final note, the 5.2 litre Audi V10 in this car sounds absolutely spot on internally. And outside it's, well, judge for yourself. I'm going to break up the Lamborghini party with a bit of equine elegance. I'm a fan of the 488 road car, the GT3 variant, and importantly for this video, the in-game representation in Assetto Corsa Competizione. When I first tried the car in, I think, build 0.4, I was impressed by its immediacy. And by that I mean how alive and responsive it felt right out of the box. With other cars, I felt I had to spend time getting to know them, making awkward small talk, but with the Fezza, it was like meeting an old mate for a quick pint. This is a car that does everything very well, but perhaps it stops short of being exceptional in any given area. It's balanced all the way through the cornering phase and pretty good in a straight line, but crucially, it's impressively forgiving for a mid-engine car. And for that reason, I think it's probably the best place to start for less experienced drivers. The Ferrari does what it's told, without any nasty surprises lurking in the glove compartment. In terms of competitiveness, the Ferrari doesn't seem to be favoured by the pros that I've spoken to, or from what we've seen in the SRO eSport GT series. But if you're not an alien, you may find the friendly jack-of-all-trades 488 GT3 produces better stint times than some of the more edgy cars. Moving on, and internally, the complex array of sounds in the 488 are captured impeccably. While the sadly muted, almost lifeless sound of the real car is also replicated. Next up is one of the oddball cars in Assetto Corsa Competizione, the Reiter engineering Lamborghini Gallardo Rex. This is a car that's been kicking about in Blancpain on and off for quite a long time, and, well, the original Gallardo even predates the GT3 regulations. Reiter Engineering have a long history of taking factory Lambo racing cars and giving them a thorough working over, and they've been tinkering with the Gallardo GT3 since 2012. The REX, or Reiter Extenso, or to its friends Rex, is one of the most interesting cars in the field, and let me tell you why. With the exception of the Emil-Frey Jag, all of the other GT3 cars are designed with a marketing objective that happens to include racing. Reiter have designed cars for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to race. And you really do get more of a race car vibe from this thing. I streamed some ACC on release day, and when I got to this car, my thoughts were, man, this has a little bit of a GT1 vibe about it. There's just a bit more intrigue, a bit more bite, a bit more, dare I say it, passion. But I'm not sure any of that really translates into on-track performance in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Like the real-world car in 2018, this doesn't feel like you're going to be running at the front of the pack, but that's okay. Sometimes it really is just about taking part. And when you're taking part in something that sounds like this, all is forgiven. The last car in today's video is another outsider. Super Trofeo is Lamborghini's one-make series run by their Squadra Corsa division, and it serves as a bit of a stepping stone to other GT series. Unlike all bar one of the other cars in Assetto Corsa Competizione, this isn't a GT3 spec car, and is only included in the game thanks to a one-car invitational entry to the 24 Hours of Spa. First up, fair play to Kunos for creating this car, which really could have been quite easily overlooked. It would be all too easy to dismiss the Huracan Super Trofeo as too similar to the quicker GT3 variant, but there are a few important differences. First up, the Super Trofeo's styling is a lot closer to the road-going car, but it's down to the regulatory differences to really split the two apart. The GT3 is lighter, has more aggressive aero, and has a little less power. But there's no doubt that the GT3 is the quicker car, and I think that will ultimately sideline the Super Trofeo to being used as a fun car rather than a competitive one. But as I said with the Rex, there's nothing wrong with that. So that about wraps things up for today. In tomorrow's video, I'll be taking a look at the Audi R8, BMW M6, AMG GT3 and the Porsche 911. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, it would be great if you could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can see more content like this in the future. So all that's left to say is goodbye, thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.